Javon Kinlaw done for the year. Got a second opinion. The second opinion said another cleanup. They said the Niners feel like this is going to fix it. Do you think that this will fix it and that Kinlaw will end up having a good career? Like he'll bounce back and be what they wanted him to be?
Full disclosure,
I know you like him.
I've
sure.
been a pro
Yeah.
Kinlaw guy. I thought this dude's gonna have a breakout year.
Yeah.
And
he might have if he wasn't hurt. But he's hurt.
Yeah, I still think as a player, I think he would if he wasn't hurt. But the thing is, and most of his critics have been, this was the major point. I think it's yourself and Jack have laid in heavy on his knee. His knee that was there before the draft. It was flagged. It's reported, but it's flagged by a lot of teams. Niners overlooked.
Probably why he was available at 14. I mean, if that wasn't there, he looked like the kind of prospect who would go top 8.
Yeah. So, and the Niners decided to overlook it. They drafted him. I was one person that took their word and like, oh yeah, I'll take the word of their doctors and like, yeah, it'll be. I think it's a good.
The doctors have a good track record.
And it looks like I was wrong and they were wrong. Looking at the situation now, I don't think it'll get.
It's looking bleak, right? Yeah.
It is looking like it's going to be the same deal. That it's going to be a long-term thing.
Todd Gurley vibes, except without the 2 good years that Gurley had.
Yeah, he might come back and it's probably going to be similar to this past year or last year where he's going to have a game where he'll play a little bit, but then he'll have to rest it. He'll be out some games and it's unfortunate. It has nothing to do with I think the Kinlaw story itself about what he's been through to make it to the league, it's pretty outstanding. But from a medical perspective, and it's just that's not the kind of players you want to draft.
Yeah. So what are the lessons the Niners learned from this mistake?
See, I think they may have learned it, but the problem is you can't overturn a roster that you took 3 to 4 years to build with all these players. It can't be done in one. It's not a basketball team. It can't be done. So yeah, they had one
brick by brick, right? A lot of these bricks have cracks.
Yeah, it's a lot of cracks
in the foundation. Probably.
Right.
Yep.
So I thought they did a great job in the medical sense in this past draft. However, you've got 3 other drafts.
In the sense that they didn't draft anyone who's currently injured in the first 3 rounds. That's a good start. That's the first lesson. Don't draft someone who's currently injured in the first 3 rounds. They've done that a lot. I mean, they did it with Bosa. It worked out. But they did it with Foster. They did it again with Kinlaw. Didn't work out.
Now, they did re-sign their whole secondary, which all had injury history. And
how's that going? Ward out, Dart out, Brett out, Mosley in and out, K1 in and out.
So we have to see this offseason, have they learned their lesson? Have they learned their lesson there?
Hold on, though. There's another lesson here with Kinlaw.
Yeah.
You don't trade someone like DeForest Buckner for someone like Javon Kinlaw. Let me say what that means. You knew Buckner was injury-free, dependable, a leader, and excellent. Like all the things. You don't trade that for anything other than someone who's like that. A sure thing. Not some, draft pick with a bum knee. No way. If you're trading someone like Kittle, who's got injury issues, okay, I can see trading him for someone else who has injury issues too, but not someone like Buckner. That has to be for a sure thing, because he's a sure thing, I think.
Yeah, because
you just gave away Buckner. Say what you want about how good Buckner is. I know people argue that, but you gave him away. Got nothing for him.
I don't. So in my opinion, I don't think that. In my opinion, I think that the issue is what they did with what they got from Buckner, not Buckner himself. I think what I talked about before. Ultimately, like the quarterback is going to make the difference. Like looking at it's like the Buckner moves, like several Buckner moves have to add up to really make a big difference on your team. I think
Yeah, but giving Buckner away and getting nothing in return doesn't help, and I think it does hurt. Maybe it doesn't move the needle much on the spread on Sundays, but I think
But
it's a
would
big
there,
drop off from Buckner to Contavious Street.
if you look at the draft, if you look at that draft though, there's a way where they could have gotten value at 13, and then they could have replaced the
That
defensive
would have
tackle.
required them being good at drafting. I know in retrospect, it's like, well, there were two guys there who definitely would have been worth the trade. Well, that would have required John Lynch identifying that guy, or Kyle, or Parag, and they don't have that track record.
Or you could replace when you.
That's why the Rams don't even try. It's like, look, we know we're probably gonna get this wrong. It's hard. It seems easy in retrospect. It's not. So we're just not gonna try. We're gonna get Jalen Ramsey. I know what Jalen Ramsey can do against NFL. I've seen him do it. I'm just saying.
Right. And I think the Rams are kind of doing, to me, I think the opposite of what the Rams are doing is you accumulate lots of draft picks because you know it's hard. So what you do, you give more chances, right?
So you use them on proven players, or you get a lot of them and accept that you're going to bust. You're going to get some, because you're not shopping for commodities. You're drafting people.
Yes.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
It's not
young men. Yeah.
Yep. So I think you kind of got to go one way or another. I think if you look at it long term, it in Super Bowl wise, it seems like accumulating draft picks has equaled Super Bowls and sustained success.
Yeah, Rams haven't won anything yet. Let's see if it works for them.
Yeah, it might, but
it might. They look good. No,
they do look really good.